What if your enemy could see you, even through clouds, even at night, even when you're moving, and you'd never know it was watching? That's not science fiction. That's synthetic aperture radar, and Israel has turned it into the most lethal targeting tool in modern warfare. Iran spent billions building mobile missile launchers specifically designed to hide, to move, to disappear before satellites could lock on. They drive them through deserts, park them under bridges, scatter them across remote terrain. The whole strategy: stay invisible, stay alive. But here's what Tehran never counted on: a radar system that doesn't need sunlight, doesn't care about clouds, penetrates camouflage netting, and maps a target's position with centimeter-level precision in real time. Israel cracked the code on hunting the unhuntable, and the technology behind it will change how every future war is fought. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will completely change how you see modern warfare. After decades of open conflict, Iran made a calculated decision: don't fight Israel in the open, disappear. Iranian military engineers developed a fleet of mobile missile launchers, trucks and transporter erector launchers, known as TLs, capable of firing ballistic missiles and then vanishing within minutes. These aren't static launch pads. They move constantly, repositioning across hundreds of miles of Iranian desert, mountainous terrain, and urban outskirts. They operate at night. They shelter under camouflage netting. They hide in tunnels and beneath overpasses. The philosophy is simple and devastating: a launcher you cannot find is a launcher you cannot destroy. For years, this strategy worked. Conventional optical satellites, the kind that take photographs, need sunlight and clear skies. Iran scheduled movements accordingly. The cat and mouse game seemed permanently tilted in Tehran's favor, but that calculus was about to be shattered by a technology most people have never heard of. Synthetic Aperture Radar, SAR, is not a camera. It does not take photographs. Instead, it fires pulses of microwave energy toward the ground and measures the signals that bounce back. Because it generates its own energy, it functions equally well in total darkness and through dense cloud cover. The word synthetic refers to how the system simulates a massive antenna by combining radar returns collected as the satellite moves along its orbital path, effectively creating a virtual antenna miles long. The result is extraordinarily high resolution imagery of the Earth's surface, capable of detecting objects as small as a pickup truck or distinguishing a missile launcher from an ordinary cargo vehicle. SAR satellites orbit continuously, revisiting the same coordinates multiple times per day. Unlike optical systems, weather is irrelevant. Night is irrelevant. Iran's carefully timed movements, designed around satellite windows, were suddenly exposed. Israel didn't stumble into SAR technology. It engineered a dedicated military space program around it. The OFK satellite series, operated by Israel's intelligence community in coordination with the Israel aerospace industries, represents decades of investment in overhead surveillance. More critically, Israel launched the Texar satellite, a radar imaging spacecraft that gave the Israel Defense Forces persistent, all-weather, day and night intelligence collection capability. This was not a modest upgrade. Texar represented a generational leap, providing resolution fine enough to distinguish individual vehicles and their configurations, critical for identifying whether a truck is carrying a missile launcher or commercial cargo. Israel has since expanded its constellation, increasing revisit frequency so that gaps in coverage, the windows Iran exploited, shrank from hours to minutes. Combined with data sharing partnerships with American intelligence agencies, including access to US SAR assets, Israel assembled a near persistent eye over Iranian territory. Having a SAR image is powerful. But the real weapon is what happens when you compare two images taken of the same location at different times, a technique called change detection. Analysts and algorithms search for differences between passes a vehicle that wasn't there 6 hours ago, a disturbed patch of ground indicating recent tire tracks, thermal signatures embedded in radar returns suggesting engine heat. Modern AI-assisted change detection systems can process thousands of square kilometers of imagery in minutes, flagging anomalies for human review. For Iran's mobile launchers, this is catastrophic. Every movement leaves a signature. A tail relocating from one position to another doesn't just appear in the new location. The algorithm detects the absence from the old one, the route traveled, and the new position simultaneously. What Iran designed as a survival tactic, constant movement, paradoxically became the very thing that makes launchers easier to track. Beyond simple change detection, Israel employs an advanced SAR technique called interferometric SAR, INSAR, by comparing the phase difference between two radar passes over identical terrain. INSAR generates incredibly precise three-dimensional maps of the ground surface. Changes in surface elevation as small as a few millimeters can be detected. Why does this matter for missile launchers? Because TLs are heavy, some weigh over 100 tons when loaded. They depress the soil, leave compaction signatures, and disturb surrounding vegetation. Even after a launcher has moved on, INSAR can identify exactly where it was parked and for how long. This creates a historical record of launcher behavior, patrol routes, preferred staging areas, proximity to support infrastructure. Israeli intelligence analysts can predict future positions based on past patterns, transforming reactive targeting into proactive hunting. The launcher thinks it escaped. The algorithm already knows where it's going. SAR doesn't operate in isolation. Israel's targeting ecosystem fuses radar imagery with signals and intelligence, SIGINT, collected by electronic surveillance platforms, including aircraft, ground stations, and dedicated CGINT satellites. Mobile missile launchers require communication orders must be transmitted, positioning data exchanged, launch sequences coordinated, every radio transmission, every encrypted burst signal, every satellite phone call creates a locatable emission. Israeli SIGINT systems, among the most advanced in the world, developed by Unit 8200, the IDF's Elite Signals Intelligence Corps, geolocate these emissions with precision. When a SAR detected vehicle at a specific coordinate simultaneously generates a communication signature consistent with a missile unit's known frequencies and encryption patterns, the confidence level for targeting rises to near certainty. The combination of what the radar sees and what the antennas hear creates a targeting solution that is extraordinarily difficult to defeat. Detection is only the beginning. The true test of any targeting system is how fast intelligence becomes action, what military planners call closing the kill chain. For mobile targets, speed is everything. A launcher that moves even 10 minutes before a strike survives. Israel has invested enormously in compressing this timeline. Process SAR data feeds directly into command systems accessible to strike planners and aircrew. Target coordinates are updated in real time as subsequent satellite passes refine position estimates. Israeli F-35I Adir stealth fighters carrying precision-guided munitions with GPS and laser guidance can receive updated targeting data while airborne, allowing last-second coordinate adjustments. Submarine launch cruise missiles and ballistic missiles can similarly receive mid-flight retargeting commands. The goal is a kill chain measured in minutes, not hours, fast enough that even a launcher following an aggressive relocation protocol cannot escape the window between detection and impact. Iran is not passive in this technological duel. Tehran has deployed increasingly sophisticated countermeasures designed to defeat SAR tracking. Decoy vehicles, trucks configured to mimic the radar signature of missile launchers, are deployed alongside real systems, forcing analysts to expend resources on false targets. Radar absorbent camouflage netting designed to reduce SAR returns has been procured. Launchers are increasingly stored in deep underground tunnels, hardened facilities that no satellite can image and no conventional munition can easily penetrate. Operational security has tightened communication blackouts during movements, randomized patrol schedules, and deliberate deception operations. Yet each countermeasure carries costs. Decoys are expensive. Tunnel construction takes years. Communication blackouts impair command and control. And critically, exits from tunnels are fixed, and SAR watches them continuously. Iran can hide inside mountains, but the moment a launcher emerges, the clock starts. What Israel has built against Iran's mobile launchers is not just a bilateral military capability. It is a preview of how all future wars will be fought. The age of hiding military assets through movement and geography is ending. Commercial SAR satellites, now operated by private companies like Capella Space and ICY, provide near real-time radar imagery accessible to any nation or non-state actor with a credit card and an internet connection. The technology that required billion-dollar government programs a decade ago is now commercially democratized. Simultaneously, artificial intelligence is accelerating the processing of SAR data beyond human cognitive capacity, machines scanning entire countries for target signatures in seconds. The strategic implication is profound. Transparency is becoming the default condition of the battlefield. Concealment, once a cornerstone of military strategy, nations that fail to adapt to this new reality will find their most expensive military assets systematically exposed and destroyed. We are approaching a threshold that military strategists call persistent surveillance, a condition in which every square meter of Earth's surface is monitored continuously with zero gaps in coverage. Israel is not alone in racing toward this capability. The United States, China, and commercial operators are building constellations of dozens of SAR satellites, each feeding data into AI targeting systems with increasingly autonomous decision-making authority. The question this raises is no longer technological, it is ethical and strategic. When a machine can detect, classify, and recommend the destruction of a mobile missile launcher faster than any human can review the decision, who bears responsibility for the strike? How do rules of engagement keep pace with algorithms? Israel's campaign against Iran's launchers is the opening chapter of a new era in warfare, one defined not by the courage of soldiers, but by the cold precision of satellites, algorithms, and microsecond decisions. If this breakdown changed how you see modern warfare, share it. The technology reshaping the battlefield is moving faster than the headlines. Subscribe so you never fall behind. Drop your biggest question in the comments. Which military SAR program should we break down next? Hit the notification bell because the next video goes even deeper. This is just the beginning.